today to have a representative of Lockheed Martin, one of the top U.S. defense companies, and we have Paul Lemmo, who's with us, and he's going to talk a little bit about a new innovation that Lockheed Martin has to make our warfighters more effective than they are now.
The product that we're demonstrating here at the show is called Inferno. Inferno is an ISR and targeting sensor, and it leverages over 3 decades of experience that Lockheed Martin has in providing sensors of this sort to detect, classify, track, and provide targeting information for all different types of platforms, fixed wing, both fast jet and rotary wing helicopter platforms, naval platforms, as well as ground vehicles. The product is unique in that it's fully modular, so it really reduces the time to repair and maintain the sensor. Essentially, today's sensors, when it breaks, you have to take the entire sensor off the platform and send it to a depot to be repaired. With this sensor, it can be repaired in the field. So you take off the shroud, you can remove any one of the 10 line replaceable units, replace it with a replacement part, essentially, and then it's up and running again. So you're not taking the sensor out of the fight, nor are you taking the platform out of the fight either. We estimate that it can reduce the life cycle cost about 50% compared to today's sensors. In addition to that, though, it is packed with the latest technology. It's all high definition, both in video and infrared domain. And we have 3 different types of cameras in there: a video camera, a mid-wave infrared sensor, and a short-wave infrared sensor. We also have things like an IR pointer and a laser designator so that we can actually designate targets. And we've designed the sensor to really operate at the maximum weapons range, so to ensure that we can designate targets at the maximum range that you can fire the weapon. And it's really important that the sensor be able to, detect, recognize, and identify what it's looking at. And the example I like to use is, being able to tell the difference between a person holding a shovel and a person holding a gun or a weapon at long ranges, so that the warfighter knows what they're looking at and can target the correct adversary.
Well, Paul, I have a question, although I'm kind of offline here, but I do have a question. So is this currently in the field and being used on Black Hawks, or is it being used by U.S. SOCOM in the field?
So we recently completed the development in the last year.
Okay.
We've been doing testing and demonstrations with customers. So we've done several demonstrations on ground vehicles in very stressing environments, high, hot desert environments. And we've also done a flight on a Black Hawk helicopter as well, an S-70. So again, customers are witnessing those demonstrations. We are preparing bids for customers, and we're ready for production.
So how long do you think it's going to take from the time when I know you'll win the bid, to the time it's actually in the field and we're using it to expand the capabilities of our warfighters?
I'd say a few years. So from the time we get an order, you're talking 12 to 18 months to produce the system and get it out to the warfighter, and then they have to obviously put it to use. So within a few years, we should see hopefully warfighters operating with the system.
Well, Paul, I forgot to ask you the most important question, a little bit about yourself.
Sure.
Your background and how did you get to Lockheed Martin?
Sure. Well, I've been with Lockheed Martin nearly 30 years. I'm an engineer by trade, but now I have the fortune to run our fire control line of business, which designs and builds all the targeting sensors that we make. So that's, it's been a great experience with Lockheed Martin.
Well, I can see why you're such a very valuable representative, but also an engineer and someone with a lot of knowledge in this area. And I thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
Again, thank you again.